Welcome to Box Office Buddies, a podcast where we have a new guest on each week where we unpack, review, analyze, laugh, and talk about their or one of their all-time favorite movies. I'm Branden Dillard, and our guest for today is my friend, Carly Cowan. Carly, will you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us who you are, tell us what you do, what it do, how it do, how long you've been doing the do.
Right.
Yeah, talk
Do
about
the
it.
do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no free ads for Mountain Dew.
That's right. We don't give away free ads.
Yeah, none of that.
My name's Carly. I live here in Oklahoma. I work at a church. I went to Oklahoma State University. Go Pokes. I was a teacher at one point in my life. I'm not anymore. I like to play pickleball. I like to read. I'm in seminary right now, so I read for school, but also for pleasure. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So, you said you work at a church. Do you have who is your least favorite coworker?
Well, I cannot disclose that information on this podcast.
Off the record?
Off the record, still can't do that on this podcast.
Fair enough. What'd you teach when you were teaching?
I was a math teacher, so I taught. I'm qualified to teach 6th or 12th grade math, but I taught 8th grade math whenever I was a teacher. So,
well, you aren't the first, hopefully not the last OSU grad we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so the first OSU grad I've asked who came on, I was like, hey, well, this isn't a sports podcast, but can you give us a quick just thoughts on OSU athletics? This past season, how you're feeling as an alum.
Oof. Yeah. 2024 season.
Yeah.
I've said this forever. And just talking football, Mike Gundy, no. Big NO from me for a long time, not just this year.
So you'll openly, on the record.
Yes, I will.
Call out Mike Gundy, but you won't say least favorite coworker. You won't say that on the record.
I won't, because I don't know Mike Gundy. So I'm really sorry, Mike Gundy. You're probably a nice person. But I think just for our program at Oklahoma State, it's a no for me, dog. Fair. And I think it's just like our program we need some fresh blood. Yeah. We need some freshness, you know.
That's good.
So.
Okay, so you mentioned you like playing pickleball.
I do.
Tell me about just movies. Like, how often do you find yourself watching a movie, going to see a movie, and also what movies are coming out that you really want to go see?
I love movies. I like to watch them because I like beautiful things and like things that sound good too. So just like music, and I love music and pictures going together because I don't have a great memory. So I like watching movies makes things come to life, and like I can rewatch movies because sometimes I forget. So it's nice. I can rewatch them. A movie that I'm like looking forward to coming out. I really like Christopher Nolan movies. So his new one that's going to be released soon. I'm excited for that. I saw that this is one I'm not really excited about, but it's weird to me that they're doing this, a live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen this?
I saw the preview.
Yeah. I was like, and it's like play by play or something. I don't know the term for that, but like, I was like, I don't know if anybody needed this because it's already like, you got to do CGI for the like dragon or whatever. So it's like you're watching an animated movie again. Yeah. More or less. I don't know.
You know, fun fact, How to Train Your Dragon is going to be mentioned another time in this podcast. I don't know if
no way. I didn't know that.
It will be. It will be.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Carly, for coming on. We're excited to unpack your movie, which, to give a quick intro to this movie, today we're talking about a DreamWorks classic.
That's right.
That is centered around an animal. And it has Hans Zimmer as the composer.
Yeah, it does.
But we're not talking about Madagascar.
No, which is a good movie.
Yes. We are talking about Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. And for those who haven't seen it, here is the premise. Is that the whole name?
You got to say the whole name. Anytime I say it's my favorite, Spirit, Stallion, colon, or whatever, the 2 dots. Is that a colon?
Yeah.
Colon, Stallion of the Cimarron.
Stallion of the Cimarron.
It's important.
Yeah. And the Cimarron is his tribe, right? Like his herd.
They're horses, but yes.
Okay.
Horses.
Because he's a stallion.
Right.
Of the Cimarron.
Yeah, like land territory, I would argue, probably. I haven't done research in that.
Well, here is a premise of Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
That's right.
Follows the adventures of a wild and rambunctious Mustang stallion as he journeys through the untamed American frontier. Encountering man for the first time, Spirit defies being broken, even as he develops a remarkable friendship with a young Latoka brave. The courageous young stallion also finds love with a beautiful paint mare named Rain, on his way to becoming one of the greatest unsung heroes of the Old West. Directed by Kelly Asbury and Lorena Cook, and starring my favorite actor, Mr. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. I didn't know he was your favorite actor. Really?
Yeah. Good Will Hunting.
Okay, yeah.
And he's in Interstellar, and so a lot of my classics. The Bourne trilogy.
Okay.
He's just a good dude.
And he narrates a horse movie? Come on.
Yeah,
the guy has range.
We'll talk about that. But the first thing I want to talk about is how did you first discover this movie?
I was actually thinking about that today. I think so. It came out in 2002. I looked that up. Mm-hmm. 2002. I was like 8 years old. And I think it came out that year. And I think when I was 7 or 8 years old, our family had moved. I think I saw the movie in theater like 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
And so I saw it when it came out, and it was just a pivotal age. You're like, what is that? Like 2nd grade, 3rd grade. You need something to believe in, when you're that age. Mm-hmm. I think maybe we always need something to believe in.
Yeah. What do you believe in now?
The Steelers.
Come on. This might be a Steelers podcast real soon.
Sports podcast, who?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. I've never heard of it until I met you a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm a big DreamWorks guy.
Okay.
And have seen quite a few of their movies. We talked about Megamind on this podcast before.
Is that DreamWorks?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so as I was like doing some research and studying Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, and seeing DreamWorks discography and all the movies they've made, this one really is different.
It's different, yeah.
When you think about DreamWorks made Shrek,
oh yeah,
Monsters vs. Aliens,
they've had some
Megamind, Madagascar, the one with the baby.
Oh, Boss Baby?
Yeah, Boss Baby.
I've never seen that, and I refuse to see it. I'll say
it. Me too, unless someone talks about it on the podcast.
Please don't.
Why do you think DreamWorks made a movie that's not? It's not funny. It's not like
it's very meaningful.
Yeah, and educational.
Yeah.
So why do you think DreamWorks even took on this project?
No, I think I would need to do some historical research and what was going on at the time. So it was released in 2002.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when production started for the movie.
Yeah.
I did look up some of the actors, which I don't know if now is the time to unpack this, but I wonder if it has something to do with that time they needed some good PR, or it was because it's about, indigenous people groups.
Yeah.
Low key. It's about horses, but it's about horses. So, you know what I'm saying? So maybe not just good PR, but just maybe it's a cause that the people at DreamWorks, whoever they are, are about, or someone approached them or gave them money to do it kind of thing, Yeah. Maybe we get to look at who funded it.
Yeah. That's good.
Where's the money at?
Yeah. And I wonder, another question that we can go ahead and hop into now, it kind of goes along with it. Why do you think people like Hans Zimmer, one of the best composers in my opinion, people like Matt Damon, one of the best actors in the business, why do you think they get up? Why do you think they do children's movies, animated movies that aren't even, funny? I get Megamind, it's still a comedy.
Yeah.
But think about Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. Why do they do these movies? In your opinion, what do you think?
Yeah, an animated type moment. I don't know. This one feels different. Even watching it, it feels like something that has meaning to it that a kid can watch, but the parent can watch too and glean something from it. that's like deeper, that maybe causes a conversation starter. It's a conversation starter to talk about the history even of the US, sort of, you know, about, because it's in or near Utah, I think. And so I think maybe because maybe they were banking on this movie being something that was a classic in a way, or something that was meaningful to them, to the world, to the US, and they wanted to be a part of that. Or to, I don't know. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's something that I've still been just trying to answer, of if I was that big of an actor.
Like, why would you say yes to a movie like this?
Yeah, that no one's gonna.
Or if there were promises of something, like maybe they were like, yeah, we think this is going to be the biggest, you know, animated film, meaningful, you know, film of 2002. We think you should be a part of this.
And this is only a few years after Good Will Hunting. You know, Matt Damon.
Yeah, so he was young.
Yeah, Matt Damon. I think Good Will Hunting came out in 1996, 97.
Okay.
And then, you know, Spirit, Stallion,
Cimarron
came out in 2002.
Right.
And so it just feels like,
How old was he in that Good Will Hunting?
They were writing it. He wrote it when he was 24.
Okay.
And so I would say they probably released it when he was, you know, 26, maybe around that time frame.
So he probably was in his 30s.
Yeah.
Ish. Which is early in his career.
Yeah. It makes you think. Speaking of making you think, as I watch this movie, a big theme is freedom.
Yeah.
I would say. And so my question to you, Carly Cowan, do you feel free?
That's interesting. I think that's my thing, I guess, is like wanting to feel not trapped, which is free, I guess. Like that's maybe my greatest fear, is being trapped in something that I don't want to be trapped in, and that means like, I guess, a tiny room, but like, but not really a tiny. I'm not saying
we're doing the best.
I'm not. It's not a commentary on this space right now. I'm meaning just like, even like a relationship I don't want to be in. That's like scary, or you know, whatever, manipulative, or a job I don't like, or a situation that like I feel like I can't get out of. Like I think that's one of my fears. I'm not sure if it's warranted by anything that's happened in my life, but I think that's something that's important to me, is freedom, and not even just for myself, but for other people too. So watching this movie, I think it's like, seeing that freedom, it's like, yes, we want to let all the horses that are trapped free, and we want to let other people free too, not just ourselves. And so just this kind of justice and like freedom, and wanting other people to experience that too. So.
When in your life have you felt the most free, I guess, or the least trapped?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, the most free, the least trapped. I don't know. I think this goes along a little bit with my own like faith journey too. So I became like a believer, believing in God, like whenever I got baptized when I was young, like 6 or 7 years old. But I feel like really started becoming more like Christ and stuff. And like in high school, I played softball, and sorry, that's a long story sort of, but so I played softball. It was my life, wanted to do everything. And in some ways I feel like it did trap me, because like everything that I was doing was to play college ball. Like I wanted to go and do and be and like workouts and lessons and like doing all this stuff. And, you know, anxiety would come because like I didn't do good at a game, or I'd be angry or sad or happy because we did do good or whatever. And when I'm sitting in school, I'm thinking about what's next, or is the coach going to approve of me, or is this, you know, all these kind of things. And so in some ways, looking back, I think I was kind of trapped in this space. But my senior year of high school, there was this moment, I had the yips. Do you know what the yips are?
Yeah, I've heard of the yips.
Yeah.
It's never had them, but
yeah. Like a mental block or whatever. So like I played softball for 10 plus years, and I couldn't throw the ball back. Like I couldn't do anything. And so I'd say all that to say softball was kind of taken away. And so after that moment, and I was like, and I relate that back to my faith story, because I think the Lord did that, or allowed it to happen, because I then had to say, had a reckoning with the Lord and was like, okay, the Lord brought me to himself and said, I want a relationship with you, not just for you to be a good person. And that began a relationship with the Lord. And so, and like a very intentional relationship with him, and even like confidence in him and being able to lean on him. And so going into college with this fresh, like new thing, I'm grieving the old and what was with softball. It's not my identity anymore. Now I'm wanting my relationship with the Lord to be my identity. And there was immense explosive freedom in that of like, I'm not defined by if my batting average is above 300. Yeah. I'm not defined by if I do good or bad in a game or not, or if I can throw a ball or not. Like, has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the Lord. Yeah. And what he's done for me. So I think that's when I've really felt the most freedom. And I think it fluctuates over time, like feeling trapped in things. But I think the Lord always brings me back to him. Like it has to do with him. So. Yeah, that's good. I bet 7-year-old Carly wasn't thinking that way. No, I wasn't. When I was watching it, I was a horse girl, I think, whenever I was like watching that. But I think deep in my bones, when I was that age, still wanted to freedom. Yeah. I think that's been a theme in my life of wanting to not be trapped in something. Yeah. So
that's good. What is your favorite scene from the movie? A scene that just gives you goosebumps every time you watch it. First off, how many times have you seen this movie? Can you remember?
I don't know how many times I've seen it. I at least watch it once a year now, which maybe isn't that much, but like, I think when I was a kid, I watched it multiple times. Yeah. I don't think we had it on VHS. A movie we did have on VHS was Shrek, and we watched that all the time. But I watch it at least once a year. A scene that's my favorite, I think one of my favorites is when I don't know what his name is. I think you wrote it down.
The guy with the mustache.
No. I think his name is Crazy Horse. He's the Indian guy who is kind of with whenever he gets released from the American compound thing and they get out, but that's not my favorite part necessarily. That is one of my favorite parts. But the thing that just came to mind was whenever they're in the little circle thing, the Indian, he's introducing him to his tribe and everything and the kids and he's kind of softening and falls in love with the girl horse and I don't even know her name.
Rain.
I didn't even know that. I guess, we don't need to. Yeah. And they've gotten to the end of trying to train him and teaching him new things. And the Indian guy, Crazy Horse, I think is maybe his name. He looks at him because he's trying to ride him again. He's like, I just don't think you're not going to be ridden anymore. Yeah. And he basically just is okay with it. He surrenders that. He walks over to the gate. He opens it up and he's like, you can go now. Yeah. And you can see in Spirit's horse face. He's like, wait, really? I mean, that's what it looks like. It's wait, I really can be free. Yeah. And he still is hesitant. Mm-hmm. It's like he wants to stay, but he didn't realize he wanted to stay. And then he leaves and when he yells at him to go on, get, and that's whenever I'm like,
go on, get, go on, get.
But he loves you. So that's one of my favorite parts. Another favorite part is the which is the second one, I guess. But whenever the horse, he's in the American compound and stuff, and he's the dude with the mustache is trying to break him, and he's riding him after the 3 days of no food and no water, and the horse, and Matt Damon is doing his voiceover, and he was like, sometimes in a horse's life, you got to do something. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he's like. And then he has the little whinny thing and he's like, and you're like, it's about to go down. And he bucks him off or whatever he does. And then he releases all the other horses too. I think that's what gets me because it's not freedom for just him, but outside of himself and the Indian guy is involved too.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. I'll share my favorite scene in a little bit, but I was a little confused when Spirit broke all of them out.
Yeah.
And they were free. Had this amazing escape. And then I'm trying to. I forget the guy's name. Who the Indian guy?
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. Yeah.
I only looked at.
It's great. It's like Crazy Horse.
They don't tell us their name.
Why he took Spirit, and
oh, you mean like when they escaped and he put them in the they put more ropes on them.
And it's like, hey, you just experienced being tied up, and you have the same dilemma that Spirit has, same enemy in a way,
right?
He just broke you out. You guys helped each other. Why are you holding him still captive?
Yeah.
Can you shed some light on that? Have you thought about that as time's gone on?
I haven't thought about it, but just now I had a thought. I think maybe I wonder if it's like, because the Crazy Horse, we'll call him the Indian guy, is like
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, look it up. Make sure we're not saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I think maybe what if because he views him as an animal, and typically animals are like things to be used, right? Or to, and so maybe because he doesn't know Spirit's background, he doesn't know that he has a family somewhere and he has all this kind of stuff. So maybe he's like, he needs a family, he needs a home, he needs somewhere to be.
It's Little Creek.
Oh, it's Little Creek. Okay, I'll tell you where the term Crazy Horse came from later when it feels right.
Yeah.
I think I know where I got it from. Little Creek. Okay. So maybe it's because he's like, he needs a home, so we'll introduce him to our people and give him a home and a family and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe he thought he was doing a good thing to bring him into their family.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense though.
Yeah, if Matt Damon was here, I'd ask him a lot of questions. That'd be
Do you think Matt Damon would know though?
Probably not.
I think he's just reading the script.
That's true.
Who's the directors? Who is that?
Two, Kelly Asbury and Lorena Cook.
Are they both women or a man and woman?
Let me look up Kelly.
I should have looked into this. I didn't know that.
Kelly's a guy.
And then the other person?
Lorena Cook, I'm going to assume is a female.
You know what happens when you assume.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Lorena is really an author.
Oh, is it a book?
Yeah, I think
kind of
I would say Kelly's probably the director. But Lorena
helps with
was probably inspired most of it and was involved in
the storyline or something.
Yeah, so we should ask Lorena Cook. Hey,
yeah, where's Lorena at?
What's with all these ropes?
She alive?
Yeah, she's alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's currently.
Yeah, what's with the ropes?
She lives in Southeast England. So
She's English?
Yeah.
Writing a story about.
Makes you wonder, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is this?
A lot of layers to this. A lot of layers, like an onion.
Like an onion.
It's a DreamWorks reference.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. My favorite scene came at the end when, spoiler alert, but it's been out for 23 years. So if you haven't seen it, then you don't really want to see it.
Is this movie older than you?
No, I was born in 2000.
Oh yeah.
When they made the jump at the end.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's also my favorite too. I was like, yes.
You know what's gonna happen. You know they're not gonna. Well, actually,
do you think they'd kill off both the main characters?
I mean, they almost killed Rain. When she got shot.
I was convinced she was killed. When I first watched this, I was like, oh, she's dead.
She should have been. But we'll get. Sorry, I got beef with Rain.
Lorraine?
No, Rain.
Lil Rain.
Both of them.
I see.
When they made the jump, and I'm like, I knew they were gonna make it, but it was still just like, whoa, that's a big jump. Mm-hmm. And then obviously you make a jump like that, you can't really land, so you fall, you roll over. And then the guy with the mustache, the Colonel. Yeah. Not Colonel Sanders.
But close to it.
different time period. Yeah. One of his guys pulls out the gun.
Yeah.
Like, take the shot, and he's like, no.
Puts it down.
And it was just like a sign of like respect.
He like nods his head.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
He's like, I see you.
Which
go in peace.
I hope this podcast doesn't get canceled based off this next question. But is there any, would you say, bad guys in this movie?
I did when I watched it again this morning, and I wonder if white men are the bad guys in this.
Yeah.
However, I mean, there are moments in this movie though that there's like white guys. They're like kind of nice.
Yeah.
But white guys are always the ones who are in chain, like putting someone in chains or in ropes or like whatever. So maybe that.
Yeah.
Or the New Frontier. That was part of it because he at the part where they're taking the big locomotive up over the hill and Spirit. Well, Matt Damon's voiceover thing of Spirit says like, and that's when I realized that they were going to my homeland. And I wonder if maybe the bigger picture enemy is claiming someone's lands, that aren't theirs, and the New Frontier, and, taking over, ruining lands, and because I think the train symbolizes back in the day was, the new technologies and settling and stuff like that. Like here in Edmond, there's some lore about some train coming through and some lady jumping off a train, like settling Edmond or something. I don't know. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, because I just think, and I guess this is true with all bad guys, there's just different agendas for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like when I saw him not take the shot at the end, it kind of felt like, hey, and even because where I kind of lost what was happening was when he was with the train crew. He was like working for another
he kind of gave
group
in.
Of people.
Spirit gave in.
Because like they weren't working together. Like the colonel and then the people pushing the train to Spirit's homeland. Was that?
Well, they kind of are. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just curious. Because I didn't know. Because I was like, okay, he was enslaved to them. And then he got it. He was free working with Little Creek. Then him and Little Creek get separated. And now he's like back on the train and pushing the locomotive back to his homeland.
Yeah.
I didn't know if those two were
separate.
Kind
of camps.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know. I think for my limited knowledge of historical things, I think like the first compound that we see that's like kind of square and there's a bunch of stables and horses and stuff and almost like a infantry, like military type thing.
Yeah.
I want to say that they're kind of like settling that area. So it sounds because he had knowledge of Indians, like of American Indians, I guess, the mustache dude. And so he knew about the people in that area. So I think maybe they were the ones who were training horses. They were or getting Stallion, like getting wild horses to come or capturing them to be able to be used. And then like the other one, and maybe they would send horses to this like locomotive thing, but maybe they were more of like a police department per se. And then they would keep things safe or for them to be able to do production of this like train stuff and like for the frontier to be able to work, to move forward. So.
All right, enough of that. History, who's right, who's wrong, we don't have time for that. What is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal?
Yes. Is it spirit? Is it a different animal?
I don't know. I feel like my spirit animal would probably be a dog just because they're like, they can be happy, but they're also super chill and just be taking a nap,
Yeah.
Simple. I don't know.
That's fair. As you've grown older, as you've watched this movie, what is there a character? There's not many characters in this movie, but is there a character that you've come to appreciate more as time has gone on, or a character you've come to appreciate less as time has gone on?
I think just now when you were talking about like who's the enemy here, I think I have been a lot of my life just like, the white man is terrible. Like, we do everything in our power, not good and stuff. But I think you saying that just now and thinking about how the end scene, he tells the guy not to kill him and to like gives him a little head nod and lets him go.
Yeah.
Is like there's even room for character growth in the white man, I guess, so maybe kind of softening or like grace towards the Colonel Sanders, whatever you call him.
Yeah.
So maybe towards him.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. For me, so this is my first watch. And so I haven't had much time to grow in appreciation. But I will say I was getting kind of annoyed with Spirit.
You were?
Yes. From the very beginning, I was like, oh, man, this guy I just need him to sit down somewhere. And I think
what do you mean?
I think I'm getting old. I think I'm just old.
He just kept moving. He was doing.
I'm just like, and I felt as I was watching the movie and we'll get to this, trust me. In the opening montage.
Oh, montages. I love montages.
We're getting there.
Okay.
There's the scene in the beginning with Spirit and his mom. We talked about this at work.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about it on the podcast. But as that scene progresses, you see Spirit growing up. You see him and his mom, their close relationship. But the horses all travel in these herds, these packs.
Right.
And Spirit's always doing something.
Yeah.
And
pretty active dude.
The other horses are kind of like looking like, come on, like get your kid in order. And the mom is looking at him like, oh, that's my boy.
That's my son.
That's Spirit.
Yeah.
And so most times during the movie, I felt like the other horses just like Spirit, like
chill, bro.
Like when they captured him, I was like, and the scene that bothered me the most was I feel bad, and I like horses, and I like Spirit. I like the story, but when they were trying to brand.
Yes.
And he just would not let it happen.
Yeah.
And he just kept doing like all these different things. I'm like, bro, just stop. Just stop.
It's part of the thing.
You're getting on my nerves.
You can't
stop.
Give in.
Just sit.
Okay.
And when he refused to be broken,
yeah,
which I get it. It's the entire story of like, he won't be defied.
His spirit won't be broken. Come on.
That's good. That's good right there. Yeah, I was just like, bro, would you just calm down?
Yeah.
But maybe I'm old. Maybe I need to watch it again. But let's talk about montages since we just brought it up. What are your personal thoughts on montages? And what are your professional thoughts on montages? Professional meaning like, is it a good feature of a movie?
Oh, overall.
Yeah.
Personally, love montages.
Yeah.
My favorite, especially just a good montage I could watch every day. Like I would love a montage of montages. Like maybe it exists on YouTube. I need to go find it.
Yeah.
But montages I'm in. Yeah. 2 thumbs up. Mm-hmm. Professionally.
Yeah.
Montages in a movie. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to think. I guess it could help a viewer understand that time has passed.
Yeah.
And there's time that has passed and there's work that has been done.
Yes.
So maybe it is helpful, but I think it might be, I guess it could be viewed as being overdone potentially.
Yes.
Because if you are a good director and a good like movie maker or whatever, you can show that time has passed without showing time has passed. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So, later we'll have a segment called Letter to the Director.
Okay.
In your letter to the director, are you telling Kelly you're not a good director because you included several montages? This movie's filled with montages.
Maybe that's why I like the movie so much.
There's probably more montages than there are actual scenes.
Oh, I love montages. Maybe that's why I like this movie.
Maybe.
I would have to go back and rewatch it because I didn't realize that there were so many. Maybe because I just like them so much. No, I don't think I would do that. Okay. I think because I like them. I like montages. Fair. I'm going to stick by that.
That's fair.
And it was 2002, maybe montages were still fresh on the scene. Maybe we're just going to lean into it.
Yeah, that's fair. And also when you have a character who doesn't speak, montages are, I would say, pretty helpful. Yeah. I love I like montages. Like I think
back.
There are
no love.
There are some cool montages. I'm thinking of, have you seen the Mighty Ducks?
Oh yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
I watched all 3.
Yeah.
Remember that? When I had surgery?
Yeah. And the second one, they're in the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
And they have this they have a couple montages, but one that I like the most is, which I don't know if, because it's different, because there's scenes where there's music playing very loud in the background.
Yeah.
And there's like scenes where there's music in the background and there's no lines at all.
Right.
But anyways, they're playing hockey with like these random people, and they're playing Whoop, There It Is.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is a really cool scene.
Uh-huh.
So personally, I like montages. Professionally, I think you're really missing out on good lines. You know, it feels like a scapegoat of like, instead of like expounding on things or more writing, we're just gonna fill the time. It feels in some ways like a pastor like just taking too long on an opening illustration. It feels like you're just trying to fill the time. You don't have enough to say.
Yeah. So you play video on the screen.
Yeah.
Or like a
meme. Let's look. And so
turn your eyes to the screen.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, we talked about this recently. Christopher Nolan, you know, I think one of the best directors.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single time he uses a montage in any of his movies.
That's so valid. Does a director have anything to do with screenwriting or like the writing of the movies?
I would say.
What is that? I don't know, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know Nolan writes as well. And so that's a different case. But for others, I would say a director would have the final say if there was a montage in a movie, I would think.
But would they are not always responsible for the writing?
Yeah.
Probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird because, you know, writing, you write the script and you have a person who directs the script.
Yeah.
And you gotta have them both.
You gotta work together.
Yeah. Really closely together.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
Okay. So overall favorite thing about the movie. What do you think it just does tremendously well?
I think there's a lot of good. I know you said it's montages, but I was noticing when I watched it, the nonverbals in the movie, it's really easy to understand what's happening. So, and I think that's what I like about the movie is that the horses don't talk. I mean, their lips aren't moving, so it feels less silly. And I think that's why it's a little bit more meaningful because it's not like talking animals.
Yeah.
But there is a narrator, so it's like, yes, the horse is kind of talking, but like not really. But I think they do a good job of, he has facial expressions, but it's not overdone. Yeah. Meaning like, it just doesn't feel quite as silly, which maybe that's just me, but like you can tell what he's thinking or the emotions there, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the nonverbals, maybe that there's not much monologue or not much, you know, that's being said, but there's a lot being said.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. One thing that I like, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, is I think it's fine being different from any other DreamWorks movie. Yeah. And like, we're not going to be silly. We're not trying to make you laugh. Like, we're trying to tell you a good story. Yeah. And you either want it or you don't. Yeah. And it's educational. It's great. And yeah, there's a lot of hidden tones underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Where like a kid could watch it and be like, oh, free horsey.
This is a horse movie.
Yeah. But then like a parent's like, oh, wow. Like,
there's a lot here. Yeah. Or could be.
There could be. Yeah. If you're paying attention. So, what kind of emotions and memories does this movie bring up for you?
I think it's it's childhood stuff. So like anytime I watch it, I think I tear up a little bit. Yeah. Mainly because of, I think, nostalgia. Like it's takes me back to when I was a kid. Yeah. Into simpler times and things like that. So it reminds me of that. What was the question?
Memories, feelings.
Yeah. Just feelings of like you talked about freedom, like and reminding, it's just a reminder of freedom and desiring that and how it's important to me. I feel like freedom is important to me. And so it's just a good reminder, I guess, that I don't know, to fight for it, to,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. What do you, what's your next fight? What are you looking to fight for as you look towards the future?
I don't know. These days I feel like very much kind of low key, like not a ton of fighting going on, kind of just some resting, watching, observing kind of thing. Yeah. So, and honestly, actually, this is a new year, and I think I wrote in one of my goals as like to stand up for myself. So maybe actually standing up for myself. Yeah. Which maybe, well, watching this movie, like maybe it appears that maybe I have a lot of my life, but I think a lot of times I stand up for other people, and I want to, and it's easy for me to do that. But I think it's less easy for me to stand up for myself. So
that's big. All right, we like to transition from the deep questions to the funny questions. And so, all right, let's rank. I know this movie's your favorite, but where would you rank Spirit, just the horse, the animal, among other animals in DreamWorks movies? And to give you some reference of some potential other animals, there's Kung Fu Panda.
That's in DreamWorks?
That's in DreamWorks. I know. I know. Shark Tales.
Shark Tale is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize I liked so many DreamWorks movies.
There's Shrek, and so like Donkey in particular would be the animal.
Is Shrek an animal? What do we count that as?
A creature, not an animal.
Okay, so he's not.
I would count Puss in Boots and Donkey and Dragon.
The Dragon.
The Bee Movie. That's DreamWorks.
That's DreamWorks too?
Madagascar. Toothless. How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, yes. Full circle.
Yeah. So how would you, just like off the top of your head, rank a few of these animals and as like the most enjoyable, fun to watch? You just like, oh yeah, I love that animal.
I love to laugh. So I think any animal that's on these, like
Shrek.
Shrek. Oh my God. In the morning, make it wild. Yeah. So any of those animals that makes me laugh, I feel like the Bee movie is like intellectual, but he's hilarious too. Yeah. The Shark Tale movie, so funny. I don't know if I could rank them. So I think I would have to put Spirit in a different category. That's fair. I mean, it's just like what you talked about, how it's kind of more of a serious movie and not super funny. So. No, I think it's just, it can't be ranked compared to most of the other DreamWorks movies.
It's fair.
So I cannot do that.
Spirit is separate.
It is separate.
Which, the more I think about it, going back to one of the first questions, it does make sense that Matt Damon is in a serious, meaningful movie because he's not in a lot of, he's not comedy. Funny. He's funny, but he's not like a Will Ferrell.
Not a comedy movie.
Yeah.
It's like within a serious movie, he can be comical, comic relief.
Yeah, not a lot of laughing at Good Will Hunting. Just a lot of crying.
Just a lot of f-bombs.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true. Well, we kind of hit on some of these things of underlining themes and the meaning of Spirit. So, would you change anything about this movie, or would you say it's perfect as is?
I think in the time that they made it, 2002, early 2000s, and where it was, I think it is what it needs to be. Yeah. I haven't really thought about that question, but I feel like I'm a person in my life who, like, I don't want to change things.
For sure.
I think they are what they are, and they need to be what they need to be. And, looking back in the past, I don't know. I think I'll just leave it.
That's good. Well, as I finished watching the movie on Peacock, did you watch it on Peacock?
I just rented it. I don't have Peacock.
Okay.
Which is surprising. I probably should have.
This isn't an ad for Peacock, by the way. So
I rented it on Prime.
There was a sequel. Well, not a sequel, but a remake of. I didn't click on it, but I saw like
with the little girl.
Yeah, they're like, you should watch next. Like it just said Spirit. I didn't read the subtitles.
Yeah.
Have you seen it or heard about?
I refuse to see it.
Okay.
I think I haven't seen it, but it was like different animation, right?
Very,
too.
very different.
Like it looks the style of animation.
More kiddie
Yes,
Yeah.
it's more kiddish. Yeah, I have not seen it and I refuse to see it.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Okay.
And I don't know why they're even trying to make a spinoff. It needs to be what it is.
Okay.
There does not need to be a spinoff.
So my other question was, if there was, would you want a sequel or spinoff of Spirit, or do you just want it to?
I don't think there really needs to be.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe yes, but like I think they got the message across with the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what other message that they would try to. I mean, I think it just is what it is.
Just let it be.
Let it be.
Let it be. That's good. All right, 2 more things. First, you write a letter to the director. What are some things you're saying?
Lorena.
That's the author.
Oh,
Kelly Asbury.
Write a letter to him.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I'm gonna say, dear Kelly, thank you for is he the director?
Yeah.
Thank you for directing Spirits, Stallion and Cimarron. Stallion.
Yeah.
Your work on this movie has really revolutionized my life.
Yes.
And I can see myself clearly now, period. I think I would also say things like, I don't know, actually, like I'm glad that there is an animated movie that's addressing this kind of topic that kids can watch, because I could watch it and understand that there's things in animal, but also people, because it connects that for you kind of there, that are experiencing slavery, I guess. I mean, it wasn't slavery, but they were taking something from someone that was theirs, that was never theirs to take. So that a kid can understand that. So thanks for directing a movie like that. I don't know if you know if it's his idea, though. Does that matter? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could probably tell the person whose idea it was, hey, I got this letter from a fan. Here you go. So he could pass it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanking him for that kind of stuff. Thanking him for using Bryan Adams for all that music. Did you know Bryan Adams did all that?
Yeah. I looked at
Summer of '69.
Yeah.
Come on.
He did all the songs.
All of them. Every single one.
Yeah.
Every one. Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I think probably, I would also thank him that the horse's lips didn't move, that they didn't talk. You know,
yeah.
I really don't have any complaints for the director. I don't know. Positive gal. I don't know.
That's
thankful.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think about anything I would want to tell him different. I can't think of anything right now.
That's good. Well, closing thoughts. Anything you
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
I took some notes.
Yeah, let's hear it.
2002. Good year.
Yeah, coming out of 9/11. So bar was kind of low.
That was 2001, right?
Yeah, so
that's probably why it didn't get good, or like, people don't know about it. Whoa. I wonder what month it came out in 2002.
We'll find out.
I wonder if it like actually was going to come out sooner, and then they had to push back release. I tried to find some of that information. I couldn't find it.
They're hiding it from you.
Probably. Matt Damon. Come on. Horse girl. That's me. I'm having just to come to terms with that lately. I think I am a horse girl. Whatever that means. I don't know.
It came out in May
of 2002.
Yeah.
And 9/11 was in
September of 01.
Yeah. I bet it probably had an earlier release date.
Yeah. I can see that.
I have some questions because I found something that I did not find anything on the internet. And so, I already talked about Bryan Adams. Animals don't talk. Oh, one thing that I like is that Spirit stood up against things that were hard, something that was scary from the very beginning. Like that bison, the group of bison when he was a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, and the bison huffed at him or whatever.
Yeah.
And he stood his ground, and then the bison did the same thing as the white mustache guy. Yeah. Kind of like nodded at them. It's like,
let him have it.
Yeah. And then Hans Zimmer, come on. Can we believe this? I can't get over it.
And
that Hans
I
Zimmer
think that I
think it makes it.
It goes to show like this is a kids movie, but it's serious and it's meaningful. Yeah. And I mean, I guess he also did Madagascar. But
Hans Zimmer did Madagascar?
He did.
I did not know that. Like the first, all of them, or just the first one?
I know for sure the first one.
I'm about to rewatch that.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think the pieces the director put in place is going to show you like, hey, this is something special.
Does the director choose the people who do music?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. One thing as I was watching it, I was like, I think I attribute everything I know about being a leader to Spirit. He cares for his people, his flock, his, whatever you call a group of horses.
Yeah.
Stampede. Can you Google that? I don't know what that means. This is inconsequential. This is important. He's self-sacrificing. He leads the white men away from his little pack.
Yeah, he yells at his people.
Yeah. And the deep guttural, the thing, what's it called? A herd?
A band.
Band of horses?
A herd, a stud, a stable.
Okay. We'll go with herd. His herd of people. Like he led the people away from his people.
Yeah.
He's fun, kind of silly. He has some like silly moments,
Good sense of humor.
Yeah. He's curious. Like with there's some curious moments. He's a defender. Like he defends.
Yeah.
And he's resilient.
That's good.
Yeah.
So.
And then we already talked about freedom and justice.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I want to talk about is I looked up, for some reason, I had like paused the movie and I got it on Prime. Prime, it like shows actors and everything.
Once again, not a Prime ad. Okay.
No, it's not. No ads here. And the actors kind of pop up on it or whatever. And it was just Spirit and the Little Creek.
Yeah, Little Creek.
Little Creek.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So I saw that the actor the voice was Daniel Studi, Studi. Yeah. And he is from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And he's actually Indian.
Yeah.
Like American Indian.
Yeah.
Because sometimes these movies that are like, I'll say it, like there's different cultures and stuff. Yeah. It's like, at least in older times, it's like white people are doing the voiceovers. And it's like, this is missing the mark at the point of a movie like this, And, but he's from Oklahoma. So I did a deep dive on this guy. I want to know more about him. What is he doing? Yeah. Whatever. I can't find anything. And what I do find is this guy's dad is Wes Studi. I don't know how you say it. Whatever. And Wes is big time actor from Oklahoma also. Wow. And he has been in Avatar. He did some Avatar movies. Wow. He was like in he's portrayed, he's an Indian in a lot of movies, like an American Indian, like a chief in a lot of older movies. He's in his 70s right now. This guy, Daniel, is his son. Yeah. And he's like in his 40s right now. Yeah. So, but I can't find anything about Daniel. The only thing, like when you casually look up this guy, is that he was in Spirit, Stallion, the Cimarron, did the voiceover actor. Yeah. And his dad is Wes. And other than that, there's no Wikipedia page for him. There's nothing on social media about him. There's nothing. And I do a kind of further look. Yeah. And I guess Daniel was like had 2 charges for life, like for drug possession and for I probably shouldn't be reading this, but I was like, but how did he do this movie? Or did he was for like a drive-by shooting or something, like he was in prison, like life sentence or 2 life sentences or something. And like I tried to find out if he was in prison right now.
You gonna go visit him?
I might, and thank him for his service. I'm kidding. Okay. I'm kidding right now. Yeah. But I don't know if he actually killed anybody, but like I couldn't find anything else. Yeah. Like I think someone paid a lot of money to erase him from the internet. Wow. Probably his dad's PR people. Yeah. But like I wonder, because the movie came out in 2002, but the stuff with the accusations and the like jail time or Senate, I don't know how that works, but was in 1996.
Interesting.
And I was like, something's not adding up. Did he do this movie from jail? Or was the movie done in 1995?
Before Good Will Hunting. They may have caught Matt Damon.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then they released it later.
Yeah.
and then like
maybe they released it
erased
because
stuff.
of 9/11.
Yeah.
Actually, that wouldn't. I don't know. That probably wouldn't fit. But that's interesting.
Because everyone after 9/11 was kind of scared
Yeah.
of foreign
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's-
Sorry, I don't know. But
We don't know a lot.
I don't know anything.
We don't know a lot.
I shouldn't say anything.
Oh man.
Episode might get canceled.
I just hope we might get taken down.
Yeah. Okay.
I really hope this guy's dad doesn't come after us because we're bringing up his son's
Well, I don't know anything, so I don't.
Yeah.
We're not saying anything that it's on record. There's only two news articles, and both of them came out in 1996. One of them's in the Tulsa World, and then one of them is the Oklahoman. And they both have articles about, and the title of the article is like, actor's son is sentenced to has 2 life sentences or something, and says very vaguely kind of what happened and things. And I tried to go on like Reddit to see if anybody knew anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything, and I'm almost certain that they paid a lot of money because I mean you can do that to get stuff erased and not on the internet anymore. And I asked Google or ChatGPT if he's alive still, and it says he's still alive. But I just wonder if he's in Oklahoma still,
rotting away somewhere.
Right?
You think he's still in prison?
I don't know. I guess. I mean, if he actually was, it was a life sentence. I don't see why not. Because like you can't pay enough money to get somebody out of prison, right?
No.
I don't know how that works.
Unless, I mean, in the Batman world, you can. You know, people get paid off, and
we're in Oklahoma. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like him, and like Spirit,
I was just like, the intrigue. What's happening here?
We all want to be free. We all want our freedom. So thank you guys for watching. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Oh man, I really like Spirit, and I think at first whenever I found out that guy, I was like, Oklahoma has ties to this because the whole time maybe that's why I like this movie too, is because like Oklahoma is the landing place after the Trail of Tears, whenever Indians were forced out of their homes, and it's not like a great place, but it's like we love Oklahoma and we embrace it, and this is what happened, and well, I like Oklahoma, and the history is hard and heavy, but it's like watching this movie is like, freedom, like we want to do this and be about this, and I just thought it was cool that the guy was from Oklahoma, and then finding out all that stuff was hard, but it was like, this is neat that he's from Oklahoma, and they and found an actor to do that. So
that is cool.
Anyways,
sweet. That's Spirit, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.